So we have a biblical symbolism of leprosy being a sign of uncleanliness, a sign of imperfection. And it also brings us this symbolism of how sin, remember what I said, the skin disease that begins from one part of your body then and spreads over. It's also a wonderful symbolism on how sin begins. You just do it today. A day after tomorrow, you do it again. Next month, you do it again. Next 3 months, you are multiplying. So it's also a symbolism of how sin begins today. It begins to escalate tomorrow. And its consequences that will eventually alienate you from God, from your community, and from yourself. Remember the characteristics of a leper. Living outside, even he or is afraid of himself. Unclean, unclean. That's why they say, if you are moving, you shout. To this horrible situation, to this unbearable situation, to this leprous situation, there was a turnaround in the gospel. Jesus broke away from the tradition. There was a turnaround because what happened? Jesus came near the leper, touched him, and healed him. Was compassionate to the leper. Imagine the situation of what we have described about this disease, both in the physical aspect of it and in the spiritual aspect of it. Dear friends in Christ, it means that there is no calamity so terrible that you can survive it if you believe, if I believe. There is no disaster so crushing that you cannot pick up again and move. But where lies the difference? The leper went to Jesus. So there is an action plan to be taken by you, to be taken by me. The leper went to Jesus. Within this context of a leprous situation, the responsorial psalm says, I turn to you, Lord, in the time of trouble. Where do you turn in your own time of trouble? Where do I turn in my own time of trouble? He turned to Jesus, begged him, knelt down. Remember, they are outcasts, have skin disease over their body. People are dreaded of this sickness. Even the leper himself or herself is afraid to behold the sight of the leprosy. But he wasn't discouraged. He didn't fall into depression. That tells you no amount of struggle, no amount of battering, whether addictions or anything, that you cannot pick up again. If you are willing, if I am willing to go to Jesus, who will break away from the tradition for the sake of saving you and saving me. And that is the second reading. Those of us who think that we are clean, and if you think that you are clean, St. Paul says, no offense to the Jews, to the Greeks, no discrimination. Treat everybody with compassion and understanding for the sake of saving them. A leprous situation, a time of trouble. To whom do you go?